Oh, baby. Now, week 2, a lot more favorable for me, obviously. If you recall, week 1, we posted a 7-9 record. Looking bad. This week, 11-5, looking a lot better here. Brings the overall now to 18-14 on the season. Don't mind the flub there. That's an 18-14. So, we've made progress. We're very excited, and I'm looking forward to a great week beyond this. I'll show you. Week 1 was the worst week we're going to have. I'll just tell you that right now. Let's get into my predictions for week 3. Why don't we? So let's see what we're going to be doing here today. Let's pull out the brush. We're ready. Always red. You got to make sure the color's red. So Panthers, Texans, Thursday Night Football. I think it goes without saying the Panthers are going to win this one. They looked actually very good. The defense looks fantastic. And the Texans are going to be playing Davis Mills most likely. So this is a no-brainer in my opinion. The Panthers look good here to the tune of 31. They don't score a lot of points, but who knows. But the defense looks good, 31-20. I feel confident about that. It definitely should be Panthers ball. If Panthers don't win this one, it is a huge, huge concern if you're a Panthers fan. But they've looked good so far. Titans and Colts, or Colts at Titans. Look, the Titans looked very good in really the second half of last week. Passing game looked pretty good in the first half. In the second half, Derrick Henry took over the game. Absolutely, the king is back. 3 touchdowns. Didn't have anything in the first half at all. I mean, he was averaging 2.8 a carry in the first half. Then second half decided I'm taking it. The Colts, likely Wentz will not be playing. So he's somehow sprained not just one ankle, which I called when he did it, but he sprained both in the same play apparently. I don't know how that's possible, but Carson Wentz here, he's made of glass. And let me just tell you, Jacob Eason, when he took over for him, looked like hot garbage. Now, the Colts have had some tough matchups, so I guess that's fair for why they're 0-2. The team's not as bad nearly as the record might state so far, but I think the Titans, look, I still like the team quite a bit. The offense factor, Julio really stood out. He got a touchdown robbed from him. Look, I feel good about it. I feel good. What else can I say there? So, Giants, Falcons. Look. This one's going to be very tight, all things considered. I think, in my opinion, the Giants should win pretty handily. But I know how it goes. I know how this goes. They're not going to win handily. And it's going to be a much closer game than you might expect. I forgot to say that the Titans are going to win by the tune of 30-27. It's going to be closer to the game than you want. Giants, Falcons. Look, give me a 20-17 finish. I think it's going to be closer than it should be. The Falcons are playing horribly. The offense is very well just designed for what they're doing right now, so I don't know how they're not performing better than they are. Kind of same thing with the Giants offense. Obviously, Saquon looked better last week. He's looking a little bit healthier, and he's going to get healthier week by week. I like him and what that offense is able to do. Even the Daniel Jones scramble factor was quite a bit last week for him. So let's give me the Giants in this aspect. I like them. Chiefs, Chargers, going to be a tough one. We know the Chiefs just tend to always win. Shocked they didn't last week. They typically always do. But look, Chargers D, I don't think is going to be able to keep up with the offense of the Chiefs. Offensively, I think they can keep up pretty easily, actually. Because Justin Herbert, let me tell you, that man can throw dimes. He throws dimes. It's going to be a higher scoring bout. It's going to be a really exciting game, in my opinion. I'm giving this one. The Chiefs, look, they're going to score 35. It's kind of hard to say they're going to do that 2 weeks in a row, but I'm going 35-31. I think it's going to be a darn close game. Come down to the last drive, at least. That's what every Chiefs game does, though, somehow. So, Bengals, Steelers. Look, I don't like the Steelers, and I'm picking too many home favorites here. I don't like the Bengals either, though. Look, the Steelers' defense has proved it's pretty smothering, and their offense played a lot better last week than I really had assumed. I'll take the Steelers here just because it's the Bengals. I hate to say that, but Joe Burrow looked a little bit off last week, in my opinion at least. 27-20. Bears, Browns. Look, they told me I can't keep picking the home favorites, and I'm going to be wrong on at least My opinion, at least one of these. I think there's a chance two of them are wrong, but I gotta stick with the Browns here because their offenses looked fantastic. They are without Jarvis Landry now, most likely, but the offenses look too good. The Bears, on the other hand, a little bit suspect. Justin Fields threw one of the worst interceptions you'll ever see of all time, but I like it. I still, I think he adds a little more than Andy Dalton, who's not going to be playing next week, but I don't think he's ready to beat a team like the Browns quite yet. This team is legit this year. They are legit, 31. And look, the Bears, I don't think they're going to hold up 17. But the Browns always make it close, so it's probably a terrible pick there. But I feel like the Browns are darn good. Lions, Ravens, we're going with away now. Look, this is where it gets a little crazy. We start picking the aways. Lions, Ravens. Lions are the most, really, they're the least clutch team in all sports. I mean, I think that goes without saying. They make up the majority of their scoring in garbage time. They were holding together with the Packers in the first half, and then decided in the second half they were going to come out stinking and not score a single point until the game was an absolute blowout because they started sucking so bad. So, look, Ravens, they impressed me last week. They really did go in toe-to-toe with the Chiefs. They ran for, Lamar didn't throw it incredibly. He threw for 160 yards, something like that. And the offense as a whole, though, ran for over 200 yards. Ridiculous. The rush game on this is incredible. And I kind of like the Lions in terms of front seven. I think they're all right there with Jamie Collins kind of solidifying them, but I don't think they're able to keep up with this Ravens offense. And I think they're going to kind of roll away with it to the tune of, it's a weird score, 33. And garbage time will get the Lions to 24. Let's just be clear. Patriots Saints, it's a game that I like. It's a bold pick. I think that the Saints looked like hot garbage, and so did Jameis, obviously. Something about this feels like to me Jameis might be doing a flip-flop. Every other week he's going to be playing well. Now the Patriots have a pretty decent defense, but I'm just not so sure in the Patriots offense quite yet. They play a very boring style of football. A lot of running. They do just enough. They get a lot of first downs. They do just enough to win, typically. It's a boring style of football, contradictory to that of the Saints. I just don't think the Saints are going to be held back 2 weeks in a row. I feel good about it. It's going to be a low-scoring bout, 20-17, in my opinion. Right there. Cardinals, Jags. Look, it's kind of crazy what's going on here. We're going all home. Now we're going all the way. Cards, Jags. I got to go Cards here. They've looked fantastic. The Jaguars have looked like hot garbage so far. And Trevor Lawrence is still warming up to the NFL, obviously. So he improved over the week prior. But again, there's still a lot of room to grow for him. And this Cardinals defense has looked relatively decent so far, which is, in my opinion, was their weak spot. They've looked good. And if they start to a 3-0 start, I feel pretty decent about them. In an incredibly tough division, though. So we'll see what that looks like. So Cardinals, Jags. Kyler's played great, 31-20. They'll make it closer probably because it's the Cardinals, but Bills. Almost said the bad word there. Football team at Bills. Look, give me the Bills. The freaking football team's defense hasn't looked quite as good as it should be. The Bills' offense hasn't looked quite as good as it should be either. But I still think it's going to be to the tune of a 28-20 game right there. Jets, Broncos. Broncos have impressed me. The Jets have looked terrible. Zach Wilson has looked like one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen. And unfortunately, it's not his fault. It's entirely on the Jets. Him throwing 4 picks in a game, I don't think that's Zach Wilson. Now look, his last week might have been some of the worst throws you've ever seen. There's a chance. But the Jets have a unique ability to absolutely ruin a quarterback's career. You see what Sam Darnold's doing right now, how he's able to find success where he wasn't in with the Jets, that's for sure. He's looking good in Carolina. Crazy how that goes. Teddy B's getting it done too. 24-18. It's a weird score. 6-point spread though. That's what I'm feeling. Dolphins, Raiders. I think it's a no-nonsense pick here. We're going Raiders. They've looked actually pretty darn good. And the Dolphins, obviously, without Tua. I don't. This team is very suspect right now. I don't like them. I don't like the Dolphins right now. What can I say? Yeah, I just don't like the team. I didn't necessarily like them with Tua. I don't necessarily like them now. Again, the team, a lot of people are high on them this year. I'm not necessarily there quite yet. I'd like to see what Tua can do with the offense a little bit more, but obviously you won't be seeing that because he bruised his ribs, which is crazy. He got carted off for bruised ribs. Kind of shocks me. I feel like he could have walked under his own pressure, but he's probably not playing with those bruised ribs. So give me a final score of 27-20. These are high point spreads, but, what can I say? Vikings, Seahawks, I got to go Seahawks here. Seahawks, they're a deep bomb threat. They always do it. There's always a 50-plus yard touchdown to Tyler Lockett in a Seahawks game. It's one thing you can guarantee in life that's going to happen. And the Vikings have really just choked every single thing that they could ever imagine. It's rough. The team's actually pretty darn talented, yet they just continue to choke it away. Let's go 30-27. I think they'll make it close, but the Vikings always choke it. Bucks, Rams. Super tough game. Obviously, I've seen so far the Bucks D has been a little bit suspect from what I might have expected them to do. And I think they'll have to turn it up against the Rams, obviously, if they want to win. This is a very powerful offense here, and the defense is really good as well. I am going to go Buccaneers on this one, though. I think they're just a little bit more well-balanced of a team. Arguably, the Rams are the most well-balanced team out there, but again, it's hard to vote against the Super Bowl champions when they've managed to re-sign all 22 starters and add some more. So it's hard to vote against them. It really is, to the tune of 28-27, 1-point spread, crazy. 49ers, Packers. Give me the Packers here. Look, I think it's probably not that great, but the Packers looked a lot better against the run in Week 2 than they did typically what they do in the past. Their run D has always been very suspect, and the 49ers are a running team. This is a team very focused on high pace. Look, I'm going Packers here. The offense looked really good last week. It's hard for me to vote against them. It really is right now. Let's go to the tune of they're going to have to score quite a bit, 31-28. Let's keep it somewhat close, but we'll see. And then finally, we're ending up with Eagles-Cowboys, a game I'm very excited to see, surprisingly, out of the NFC least. But Cowboys have looked pretty good. They kind of struggled pretty hard against the Chargers last week. Dak didn't have his typical ridiculous stat line game as he always has. But again, I think they'll turn it up here. And again, against the Eagles for sure. I feel good about it. I'm going to say they're going to be scoring 34. And the Eagles, they'll put up 27. Not too hyper about that team. Not feeling too excited. But that's what I got for you here today. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll keep the record rolling. Going to be a positive week for us.